Remember that guy who sat in front of Congress, sipping water like a malfunctioning robot trying to pass as human? Yeah, that guy. Mark Zuckerberg. For years, he was the internet's favorite punchline. Stiff posture, monotone voice, the human equivalent of a CAPTCHA test. And while the world was busy making memes, he was running one of the most powerful companies in history. Welcome to Simplified, the channel where we make sense of the messy stuff. Society, economics, politics, tech, crypto, basically everything that keeps you awake at 2 in the morning. Everything you hear today is compiled from multiple sources and mixed with our own analysis and opinions. If something sounds off, don't just scream at your screen, drop a comment so our team can review it. We actually read them. Here's the hard truth. People don't judge reality, they judge appearances. Steve Jobs knew this. He didn't just sell iPhones, he sold an aesthetic. Black turtleneck, round glasses, Zen quotes about creativity. People ate it up. The image worked so well that Apple became the good guy of tech, even when their business model was ruthless. Jobs himself was volatile, often terrifying to employees, but the monk genius persona shielded him. Zuckerberg? He had the opposite effect. For years, he looked like the ultimate programmer stereotype. Hoodie, flat affect, monotone voice, and social skills on par with Clippy from Microsoft Word. Hollywood locked that image into pop culture with The Social Network in 2010. Jesse Eisenberg's Zuckerberg was cold, calculating, manipulative. Was it 100% accurate? Number. But it stuck. And once an image sticks, it's almost impossible to shake. And yet, despite all that, Zuckerberg delivered. Facebook grew into a digital empire. 2 billion users, Instagram and WhatsApp swallowed whole. 1/3 of humanity communicating through platforms under his control. For a while, Zuckerberg basically meant the internet. But power attracts enemies, and scrutiny followed. The scandals started stacking faster than your grandma's Facebook friend requests. Cambridge Analytica in 2018 blew up into a global crisis, tens of millions of users' data siphoned for political targeting. Suddenly, Facebook wasn't just that app for stalking your ex. It was a weapon for manipulating democracy. And then came the hearings. Zuck in a suit, perched awkwardly at a desk, sipping water in a way that made everyone wonder, is he human? The memes were relentless. Lizard man, AI prototype in beta, Windows 95 mode, brutal, public trust cratered. Politicians blamed Facebook for fueling division. NGOs blamed it for genocide in Myanmar. Parents blamed it for wrecking their kids' mental health. Facebook went from cool startup to digital villain in record time. What do you do when your brand is toxic? You hit the rebrand button. Goodbye, Facebook. Hello, Meta. Zuckerberg unveiled a shiny future, the metaverse, a virtual world where we live, work, and play through avatars. He pitched it like the next stage of human evolution. Problem? The demo looked like PlayStation 1 graphics. The avatars had no legs, and no one wanted to buy a headset just to sit through a meeting that could have been an email. While billions burned, Wall Street screamed, Meta's stock collapsed, Twitter laughed, and the metaverse became the punchline of tech. But here's where things get interesting. Even while the metaverse flopped, Zuckerberg managed to distract the world. He leaned into memes, made public appearances, laughed at himself, even entertained Elon Musk's ridiculous challenge to fight him in a cage. Suddenly, the conversation shifted. Instead of Meta is evil, people were joking about a billionaire UFC showdown. This is the genius of distraction. When people are busy memeing about your hypothetical cage fight, they're not talking about your lawsuits, privacy violations, or antitrust probes. It's PR misdirection, like a magician making you watch his left hand while the right hand steals your wallet. And to be fair, from a branding perspective, it worked. Zuckerberg transformed from awkward robot to weirdly tolerable tech bro. He became a character, not just a CEO. And when CEOs become characters, they're harder to hate. Because now, instead of faceless corporate evil, you're dealing with a meme you can laugh at. But here's the catch. No matter how many cage match jokes trend, Meta is still Meta. The core hasn't changed. The company's business model is simple. Keep you glued to your screen as long as possible, harvest your data, and sell your attention to advertisers. Everything else, the shiny metaverse demos, the AI announcements, even the rebrand itself is decoration on top of that. Look at the Ray-Ban smart glasses. On the surface, cool design, sleek functionality. In reality, they hoover up your location, your behavior, maybe even biometric data. Two Harvard students hacked them in a demo, and suddenly the glasses were recognizing strangers on the street, spitting out names, addresses, and personal info. That's not the future. That's Black Mirror. And yet, notice how quickly stories like that vanish. The meme cycle spins. People focus on Zuckerberg's podcasts, his appearances, his jokes. That's the sleight of hand. By rebranding the man, you soften the company. It's one of the oldest tricks in power. Roman emperors commissioned statues with rippling muscles. Rockefeller handed out dimes to kids while crushing unions. Image management isn't new, but in the age of social media, it's turbocharged. This is why Musk versus Zuck matters not because we'll ever see them actually fight, but because it turns them into cultural characters. The narrative becomes entertainment. And when something is entertainment, it's less threatening. Who wants to talk about monopolies, antitrust laws, or mental health crises when you could meme about a billionaire cage fight? But let's not get distracted. The underlying issues remain. Meta still faces accusations of undermining democracy, spreading misinformation, harming mental health, and enabling surveillance capitalism on a global scale. The rebrand doesn't erase that. It just reframes it in softer lighting. So what's the lesson here? Zuckerberg's pivot is a masterclass in PR. It shows how powerful image can be, how quickly narratives can be rewritten, and how memes can rehabilitate even the most unpopular figures. But it's also a cautionary tale, because if we let image override reality, we risk ignoring the consequences. Abs don't equal ethics, podcasts don't equal accountability, and gold chains don't equal trust. So should we trust him now? Honestly, no. Not until Meta shows real change in how it treats users, data, and society. Until then, the glow-up is just camouflage. But that's just our take. What about you? Do you think Zuckerberg has genuinely changed? Or is this just an expensive distraction strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll feature the funniest, sharpest, and weirdest takes in the next video. And don't forget, hit subscribe to Simplified for more brutally honest, sometimes funny, sometimes depressing breakdowns of the world we live in. Until next time, stay skeptical, stay laughing, and remember, never trust a lizard man, even if he's good at PR.